All right, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Utah Jazz, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, man. So we talked a lot last week about the stars all aligning for us for the Utah Jazz. We went back to yellow this week, huh?
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
All right.
Yeah.
So we talked a lot about last week about how the stars would align for us, and we get the number 1 overall pick, which of course would mean that we would go with Cooper Flagg, number 1 overall, right?
Yeah.
So whoever last week has officially announced over this week that he is going to the draft, which is good news.
Yay! Cue party music.
Yeah, which is interesting because he still can back out of that depending on who gets the number 1 overall pick.
Absolutely.
So he still has the option to go back to Duke. So see what happens there. He's like, oh, okay. He can't back out of it. No, he still can. He has about until like 3 days after the draft lottery is announced to go back to Duke or not.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. But anyway, we want to talk about on this episode here of Utah Jazz DNA is we want to talk about what happens if Utah gets the number 2 overall pick. AJ, who are you taking at number 2?
First of all, boo. Okay. I mean, that's just the first thing I got to say. Okay. Just flat out boo. But honestly, I mean, there is some really talented players in this. And I think to get to this point, you really have to look at what the current roster is, what do we, and obviously this is a job for the Jazz staff, but like, where do we think we need to grow as a team if you don't get Cooper Flagg, if you don't get your center point? And then you've got to look at, like some of the stuff we talked about last week. Are you sending it back into full rebuild? Do you move all kinds of pieces? Check out our video from last week. It's got a ton of good, kind of concepts about what we do if we don't take the number 1 draft pick.
Yeah.
Really
good
stuff in that one.
Somewhere.
Yeah. We'll put it on here somewhere. I think with what we currently have in Markkanen, we got Keontae George still. We've got Walker Kessler. Taylor Hendricks, I think, is going to be a key part to the core players in this program. And this is obviously assuming we keep Laurie, right? That's one thing I've got to make clear here is
that's for next segment. Don't go in there.
Okay. Right.
Don't spoil next segment.
Okay. Yeah. Good point. I think we go Ace Bailey.
Okay.
I
Run
think
your line.
Yeah, absolutely. Ace Bailey he's a 6'10", small forward out of Rutgers. This dude is an elite scorer. He's very, very explosive. He's got a ton of athleticism, and he is probably the next best franchise centerpiece where you may need to make some changes to your roster, but this guy is the closest to Cooper Flagg you're probably going to get. They're about the same size. He's probably a little better scorer than Flagg is. Flagg is obviously more of a well-rounded, high IQ, versatile type player, but Ace Bailey's a fantastic scorer. He's just the kind of player that we would need, especially if he can get his 3-point shooting on track. I mean, he shot just over 34% in college, which is right on track with kind of some of the players that we've got right now. But he's a big time rebounder. He is pretty good at seeing the floor, and he was healthy, which is a very nice thing that you have. So I think if we're going number 2, I think we got to look at Ace Bailey.
I like it, man. I like it. So now takeathon.com has the number 2 prospect being Dylan Harper.
I know.
We have a video on our channel, which, by the way, thank you very much for watching that video. We have quite a few views on that one, so appreciate it.
Yeah.
Dylan Harper's dad, Ron Harper, right?
Yep.
I have R. Harper here. I don't know why I didn't fill out the first name. Ron Harper.
I mean, Ron is a really long name.
I know, 3 extra digits. Only one if you count the period.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Ron Harper did say on Twitter multiple times that he will not let his son be drafted by the Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
We have a whole video on that. We appreciate it. With that said, AJ, I have to say that we call their bluff.
Yeah.
We call their bluff and we take him anyway.
Oh, I mean, there's nothing he can actually do, I don't think. I mean, you're going to throw a big ass fit? And
here's my thought on that. In my mind, you chose to play at Rutgers.
Yeah.
You weren't alpha dog like Cooper Flagg. You chose to face weaker competition in college. You still have something to prove, and you simply aren't good enough to dictate where you want to play in the NBA.
Yeah.
So I really like him. I'm just concerned that his dad does, stay true to his word and will block it. But Harper averaged 19 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 4 assists per game on 48% shooting in 32 minutes per game. He is a 6'6", 215-pound point guard.
Yeah.
You know my take on the Jazz when it comes to point guards.
They're all too small.
They're all too small. And I think this is a perfect role for what the Jazz need. The Jazz need a point guard, AJ.
They do. And this guy is a fantastic fit because he really is like a natural scorer. He's a great shot creator. He understands dishing the ball and making good decisions. Do we have a player that fits that role perfectly right now that's 6'6"? The answer is absolutely not. But we do have Isaiah Collier, who is a natural scorer. He is good at creating his own shot. And I don't know if you want to take those minutes away from Isaiah this early in his career. Yeah, I mean, is Dylan Harper? I mean, obviously you're going to use a number 3 pick on him, right? So there's much more upside to this. But Collier was the number 1 high school recruit just a year ago.
Right.
So, I mean, this guy's got some ridiculous raw talent that we haven't even started really tapping into yet. I just don't know if you look at taking a 6'6" point guard when you have so much talent, potential talent even on there. And I don't know if this guy's the game changer. But I mean, again, this is the number 2 pick, right?
Right.
So at this point, we're going to obviously continue to develop talent. So I don't know. I don't hate Dylan Harper with this pick.
I don't either. I don't either. But there's also other points to that, right? Like, because Jazz have tried to unload the big 3 of JC, Colin Sexton, and John Collins.
Yeah.
You unload all those. Someone's got to take the backup point guard minutes.
Absolutely.
And also, we're going to need somebody to play shooting guard on this team if Isaiah Collier and Keontae George are the only options you have on the team.
Yeah, that is correct, my friend.
So I really think, and that's the best thing about Harper is he can go either way. You know, he's got 4 assists per game, which is not bad in college. Especially he seems to be a shoot first type guard.
Yeah.
So as a point guard or shooting guard, I think he fits both well on both of those ends there. But I really love the fact that you were looking at Ace Bailey. He is 6'10", 200 pounds, small forward. And I think that's going to be great if Hendricks isn't ready to roll to take on the world right out the gates.
Yeah, I think Hendricks will be ready, but I think
they need a slow play, man. I want to make sure that he's comfortable. I hope they don't even bother playing him in Summer League, dude. I think just don't even bother.
I doubt they put him in Summer League this year.
Yeah, just don't even bother, man.
Yeah.
Like, let him practice, let him warm up. Don't even let him play.
They're going to be working on getting him back to game shape. I mean, he did say in some of the end of season interviews, he said multiple times that he'd be ready in May. Like, if this was a playoff team, he'd have been ready to get back into the playoffs.
Yeah, that was wishful thinking there.
Wishful thinking, but
love your smart home commercials though, by the way.
They're so good.
They were really good.
They're good.
But yeah, so man, I think we're both picking different players here. Ace Bailey, I'm picking Dylan Harper. You can't go wrong with either one of those, but look for things to change next week when we talk about how the Jazz are going to go with the number 3 overall pick.
Absolutely.
So with that said, we both have our picks there. Go off of what you're saying. The Jazz decide to take Ace Bailey. What do you do with the rest of the team for the offseason?
If you take Ace Bailey and we get the number 2 pick, at this point, you are going to be pivoting away from Larry. That's all there is to it. If they don't get the number 1 and get Cooper Flag, I think they probably pivot away from Laurie. I think they just dump it completely.
Really?
I do. I think they probably go straight fire sale, and we will have another season of horrible Jazz basketball to watch.
Okay. I like it. Here's my take. They don't pivot away from our core. They keep everybody.
Okay.
They do get rid of everybody they've been trying to trade for everybody forever.
They just give them away, and all those guys are on expiring contracts. I mean, to be clear, it's not going to be nearly as difficult to move any of those guys next season.
They pay for half of John Collins' contract to ship him somewhere else.
Yep,
probably to Golden State, where he could be a huge help out down there as a power forward.
Yep.
But I think what you do exactly what you did this year. If you go with Ace Bailey, great. If you go with Harper, great. This basically just Isaiah Collier and flip all 2.0.
I think the problem is you're going to begin losing trade value on Laurie.
I don't think you care about trade value with Laurie. I think when he signed because he wanted to be here from the long term.
I think he does. I mean, I think he does. But at what point do you devalue the asset that you have in Laurie and lessen the return that you could potentially get for him, right? Because if you can get 2 first-round picks for him, and one of those first-round picks happens to be next year.
Yeah, see, I think
what I mean?
I think you're done with first-round picks.
Yeah.
The Jazz have not done well when trading for first round picks. All their first round picks they traded for are now still playing basketball, AJ. So that doesn't help us a lot, So I think that they kind of missed the point there.
You mean that 23rd pick that we got from Minnesota this year?
Yeah, for Rudy Gobert. Thanks, Ainge. Great work there, buddy. Yeah.
Jerk.
I don't know what he was thinking that, like, of course he's going to take the max. Of course Donovan Mitchell's going to take a max contract with the Cavs. He's not going to leave a supermax contract. No one's going to leave that.
They're putting all their dice in they're not going to stay with those franchises.
Oh, jeez, it's ridiculous.
Damn
man.
it.
It's just big oversight.
Yeah.
I say you keep all of them. You keep the talent, and then you run it back again because again next year is definitely still stacked. You got AJ Debinsa. You also have the Boozer kid that is potentially going to be available in the top 2 pick. And again,
I bet you his dad doesn't block him going to the Jazz.
Yeah, definitely not. Carlos, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah,
come on. You spent a lot of time on the bench when a lot of Jazz fans were rooting against you, but we were rooting for you, man.
Well, and Boozer still comes back for like all the Jazz.
Oh yeah, dude.
I mean,
and
he's
got nothing
pretty
but
involved
things.
in the community, and he's still friends with Aaron Williams, who lives in Salt Lake. So.
Yeah, nothing but good things to say about Utah, and I absolutely love that. I got nothing bad to say about Carlos Boozer, man. He had some of his best years here. Wasn't all-star.
Definitely had some of his best years here.
It was great. Great. But we want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. What you think about your Utah Jazz? Who do you think they're going to take if they ended up with the number 2 overall pick? We want to hear from you in the comments down below. Let us know what you think, what your thoughts are in regards to that. Let's jump into some of these comments, man.
Yeah, there's a ton.
Yeah,
appreciate you guys. All the engagement. It makes this show way more fun.
Yes, it does. It really, really does.
Yeah.
First comment we got is from McKinley Cutler. I am taking Dylan Harper. Yeah, man. I think he's a safe bet for sure. Aaron Henry, Harper would be the best fit. Yeah, really for me, the only concern there is his dad, man. Like that's really kind of the only thing that I'm worried about.
It's definitely a scary thought, but I think he did come out and I think he stepped back on his statement.
He did, but then he immediately retweeted it again like a week later.
Oh, okay.
He came out, somebody else said Jazz line number 2 and go for Aaron Harper. And he's like, not if I have anything to say about it. Again.
Okay.
Like a week later. So I think he's pretty serious about that. But like I said, dude, you might as well send him to like freaking G League Ignite if that team was still around. But we have McKinley Cutler saying, not even a hard choice. Now, if we fall 3 or lower is when it gets interesting. Stay tuned to next week, man.
Yep.
I got a good pick already for that one. Honestly, I love Johnson, maybe even more than Ace Bailey. Okay. Ace's shooting scares me a little, and the Edgecombe disappears. And Edgecombe disappears.
Yeah.
He disappears in his shooting, or he's going to be gone in the draft sooner. Like, what am I missing there? What does he mean by Edgecombe?
I think he's saying Edgecombe he didn't play great for Baylor at the tail end of the season.
Oh, that's right. Okay. That makes sense. And Aaron also says here, there is nothing he can
do about stopping him.
You'd be surprised, man. We've had so many players that were supposed to be traded to the Utah Jazz that decided, I'm not playing.
Just straight blocked it.
Just blocked it.
Yeah.
Remember the famous quote, you go play for Utah, for that guy that we were going to draft. What was his, I can't remember who it was. That was before your time. But we also have a comment here. Let's see here. From McKinley says, Johnson looks like he could be a number 1 option on an offense. He's pretty good. I just think there's a lot of holes in Ace's game, even against subpar competition, which is fair. Rutgers. He struggled creating space and had bad shooting habits.
Settled.
Bad shooting habits settled. Gosh, we really got to make that closer, man.
Gotta get it closer.
For bad shots. You also said here you're looking 21 at all.
I'm hoping for Carter Bryant.
Oh, hey. Maybe we add that into the.
We start looking at our second round picks. Maybe that goes on to the pick. I mean, we got 3 weeks till the draft.
Yeah, we definitely should cover that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have the next one here. They better get someone good because Jazz games are basically a circus right now.
Only for the second half. Greg.
Yeah, dude.
The first half, the Jazz look great. They're like, oh, we can hang with anybody. And then the second half happens and it's like, oh, that's right. We're losing this season.
Midway through the third quarter.
Yeah.
And, oh, that's right. Let's go ahead and pull in everybody and bring in Bryce Sensabaugh. And yeah, that's great. Flip was awesome though, man. Flip had a good year.
I mean, Bryce Sensabaugh finished the season shooting red hot. I mean, again, a lot of fun players to watch on this Jazz team. And I think if we actually move to wanting to win basketball games, I think this team could be a lot more deadly than people are giving them credit for.
Yeah, well, that's the internal optimistic fan over there, AJ, on this one. He thinks Denny Ainge can do no wrong, and the SEG is a great ownership group. Me on the other side, I'm a little bit more skeptical.
Yeah, I just always think the Jazz can win. I mean, I think every year is our year. That's just who I am.
It's how it is, man. It's how it is. We got a glass half full, glass half empty. Like, just leave the bottle for me. Edgecombe trends to pull. What does it say? Oh,
Edgecombe tends to pull the same disappearing act that Cody does. Not as bad as Cody, but still worries me, especially if we're using a top 5.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily use him on a top 4, maybe a 5 if we fall that far.
Oh, don't even put it into the universe, Darren.
47% chance. AJ has always been a dreamer. Yes.
That is true, my friend.
I like it. I like it.
Every season's my season, buddy. You know how it goes.
That's right. He actually picked the Utes to win the conference championship last year.
Yep, sure did. I think you did too, actually, just for the record. There's a YouTube video. Check it out.
No, I didn't. I said they win the conference, not the...
Oh, I chose them to win the college football playoff.
Yeah, you said national champion. On their way to the national championship. I'm like...
Hey, we had Cam.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
For 2 games.
Once again, folks, we want to remind you, if you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, we do have a sub-channel specifically for your Utah Jazz content called Utah Jazz DNA. All of our content will be posted here for Utah Jazz first. So jump into the description of this video. Check it out. A link to that channel will be in the description below. Once this channel hits 1,000 subscribers, we'll be giving away one of those sweet new Utah Road black jerseys, the Black Mountain ones. Those are super cool with the purple accents. Check it out. We'll be dropping that. We'll be giving that away once this channel hits 1,000 subscribers. So be sure to check it out. And yeah, smash that like button for your boy AJ right over there.
Do it.